The Tulsa Golden Hurricanes had one of those seasons that I'm sure they would rather forget. They played a few close games. They played some really nasty games. Um, they were a disappointment. They were such a disappointment that their head coach was fired. So it's not even like when I'm talking about this team that I'm going to be talking about something that's going to be carried over into the future. They have already hired their new head coach. So, but we still need to take a look at the 2024 season, as sad as it was. And that's the sad part about it all, because they have some decent players. They just don't have they really don't have the folks to back it up on the coaching side, or didn't this past year. So we're going to go over the record. We're going to look at their offense and defense. I'm not even going to pay attention to their quarterback because we don't even know if their quarterback's going to be the same quarterback next year. But we're just going to take a look. So stick with me. And also, if you like hearing about football, gymnastics, those kinds of sports, hey, hit subscribe down below. I'm trying to get to the point that I'm making some money. I can get the gear so I can go and interview coaches, those kinds of things, and really bring these people to your attention. Okay, so here we go.
Hey folks, this is Paul with Redneck Sports. I want to thank you for viewing my video, and I want to give you one thought process. There was a famous coach at the University of Tennessee by the name of General Robert Nealon. He had 6 maxims, but number 2 maxim is what everybody should apply to their life. Play for and make the breaks. When one comes your way, score. That's how to live your life right there.
Okay, so the very first game of the season was against Northwestern State. Yeah, no, it's I'm wanting to say Division Two. They're a Southland Conference team. They're uh, playoff, the playoff thing that basically is Division Two. Then they got beat in a close one against Arkansas State, which I'm kind of sad that they lost to them. Uh, they lost a nasty one to Oklahoma State. Beat Louisiana Tech in overtime, 23-20. Uh, got beat nastily by North Texas, Army. A decently close one against Temple, which is kind of surprising. They lost a heartbreaker to you, or no, they won a good. Sorry, I was so used to them losing this season. They won a close one, 46-45 to UTSA. And then, yeah, they lost they lost nastily to UAB, lost a close one to a bad East Carolina team, lost nastily to South Florida and to Florida Atlantic. Okay, they lost 52-20, 59-21, 63-30, and 63-16 to in-conference games. Army beat them 49-7. This is it's a bad record, and I can understand why their head coach was fired. Now, on their offense, Kirk Francis, who I'm not even sure, like, they played 2 different quarterbacks. Kirk Francis threw for 1,585 yards. He threw for 9 touchdowns, got intercepted 6 times. He was only sacked 13 times. You would expect, if you're throwing that least of amount of time, that you would have it better, but no, he didn't. Uh, Cooper Legas had 87 and 162, 1,144 yards passing, 12 touchdowns, 6 interceptions himself. Their leading rusher was Anthony Watkins, and he only rushed for 402 yards. You heard that right. He rushed for 4 touchdowns. Baron Ellison rushed 62 times for 353, 1 touchdown. Lloyd Event got a touchdown. Cooper Legas rushed for a touchdown. He rushed 79 times, 201 yards. Like I said, got a touchdown. Cardell Williams got 2 touchdowns. This was not a rushing team. The sad part is they were also not a. Their leading receiver was Camden Benjamin. He had 822 yards. He had 70 catches, 6 touchdowns. Joseph Williams had 5 touchdowns on 30 receptions, 588 yards. Luke McGray had a touchdown. Corey Smith had 2 touchdowns. Bill Jackson had 2 touchdowns, and he's a running back. This is seriously, this is not a. And Kirk Francis himself had 34 rushes, negative 18 yards. This offense was sad, especially when you consider that the offensive coordinator for this team at that time was Steve Spurrier Jr. You heard that right. The son of the old ball coach was their offensive coordinator. And here's somebody who learned under his father, learned under both Stoops brothers, and learned under Mike Leach. He should have been able to have a better offense, but I don't know. That's the sad part about this. This was a lackluster offense at best. Now, looking at their defense, Gavin Potter led in tackles with 75. Jalen Kennedy had 2 interceptions. I I don't even. They had one interception that was returned for a touchdown. That was by Kawan Parker. He had one interception, and it was a 30-yard rush. Their leading tackler had 75. Then their next had 60. There was no defense. I mean, basically, they were there for show. They did some work, and I'm sure that Gavin Potter, Jalen Kennedy, all of them tried their best. But when your leading tackler has 75, your second has 60, then 49, that it goes down from there. Sacks. One of their leading people with sacks had 3. That was R.J. Jackson Jr. Um, yeah, they they couldn't get through the offensive line. They were okay with interceptions. I mean, they had a grand total of 9 interceptions over the year. Another one of those cases of they just were lackluster. And that's the sad part about it. It was just lackluster. Now, they have hired Trey Lamb to be their coach. He's coming over from East Tennessee State. Um, I kind of have a. I like East Tennessee State. ETSU is from my home state. I know people that went to ETSU. I know some people that played in the older football teams. Then they lost their football team because of an idiot who was their AD, who then University of Tennessee hired. This guy was a complete and total moron. Not going to say his name, but let's just put it this way. This guy should never have been an AD. He destroyed ETSU's football team, destroyed their athletics. Then he came to Tennessee and destroyed our athletics for a few years. But now they have a coach who's used to winning. And look, Trey Lamb he's not that exciting to me. I'm glad he was at ETSU though. He's a winning football coach. I mean, he's from Calhoun, Georgia. He was quarterback coach at Tennessee Tech, quarterback coach at Mercer, offensive coordinator at Tennessee Tech, head coach at Gardner Webb, East Tennessee State, now at Tulsa. He is 27 and 25 of all time. He's been in the NCAA D1 playoffs. Uh, champion. He has a Big South championship, so he's got some possibilities. ETSU had gone 3-8 2 years in a row before Lamb had arrived there. He quickly turned it around, 7-5 his lone season there. One of his losses was to FBS member Appy State. Um, you know, he's coming up from Division 2. I know that's not what it's called, but still, he did really good things with Gardner Webb, and I don't know why 7-5 at East Tennessee State. You don't know what I mean. Yeah, okay. His dad was a successful high school football coach. His grandfather Ray was a successful high school coach. He's the nephew of longtime college head coach Bobby Lamb. Uh, so he's got a small pedigree, but I'm hoping that he's able to turn him around. Honestly, I am, but I don't see this, you know, being an easy fix. I like the AAC, but I have a feeling that they're going to be in the bottom half for another couple of years because this program's got to get turned around. They've got to get back to basics of football. But hey, I'm hoping I'm wrong. I've been wrong before. This has been Paul with Redneck Sports. Y'all have a good day now. Bye.
I want to thank you for watching my video. And if you like what you saw, like, subscribe, and comment. Y'all have a good day now.